Hey everybody, it's the Last Robo Kai here, and it's time for the finale of phantasmal Remnant's final DLC, Bylong and the Crimson Demon. We are now aware of what our threat is, and it is unfortunately a horrible amalgamation of monster and divine servant spirit, which is not a great combination to have at all, especially when it is completely out of its mind and trying to steal babies. And so we need to put it down, and we need to rescue Lupe's ghost son.
Horrific chimera of mythological bullshit.
Yeah, and joining me, of course, is Cool Guy.
Yo-yo, of course.
And so this is going to be a long one, because we're getting to the climax of the story itself, but it actually has a fair little bit of talking afterwards, and then its own epilogue. So we're going to get through all of that today. Let's get stuck straight in.
Still just screaming for the sake of screaming.
It's a bird. Birds love screaming. Prove me wrong.
Either that or she's just part of possum, which just wakes up, screams, goes back to sleep.
Yes, this is a lot of problems.
I've seen worse in Helldivers. Nothing a 500 kilogram can't fix.
Yeah, but the cooldown though.
しかり霊体化を解き名目し座して赤子をあやしている模様にて
赤子なんとあやしている子を持つ母親のようにね
Presumably while this is going on, Assassin did a little scouting.
Literally what his job is, so yeah. Would be great if he could get that done.
Kishimojin に取り込まれながらまだかろうじて存在を保っておられる。あの時Kishimojinが私を殺せなんだのは和子様が泣いてくださったからだ。お助けするつもりが私の方が助けられてしまうとは。
食らわなかったのか食らえなかったのかそれはわからないけれどあなたにも希望が出てきたのではなくて
Yeah, we have an alive baby inside of Kishimojin.
生きておられるのなら
No, an alive baby. I mean, it's a ghost. It's a servant technically, so it's
alive ghost baby.
it's complicated, all right.
It feels like something that would end up being a parody of Ghostbusters, like probably with Nappa, frickin' scatting in the background.
And if I was a Ghostbuster and they said, "Yeah, you gotta go fight ghost babies," I'm like, "Oh, look, I quit."
Is their first hire outside of their friends, and you're just like, nope, did not sign up for that.
Nope, sorry guys. There's a certain height level you can get down to. Like, I will definitely still bust like, certain degrees of like teenage ghosts because they're like, that's all right. But babies are too freaky. Ghost babies are too freaky.
I do like the idea of going in to bust like some super angsty goth emo teenager or whatever. I realize what I just said is a contradiction on multiple levels. Also, I don't care. It's ghosts. I don't need to explain crap.
When I was a kid, there was an author, Paul Jennings. Most Australian kids or people who grew up in Australia probably are aware of his writing. But he did a particular ghost story once, which was actually kind of funny because it was basically this dude who's like, I'm just never scared of anything. I'm just not that kind of a person. Encounters a ghost who is basically trying to pass his ghost exam, and if he fails it, he basically gets he basically just gets vanished or sent to hell or something. And he's already failed it twice, so it's third time strike, he's out. And basically, like, he has to try and scare this guy who's very difficult to scare. It's a really good story. I quite liked it, but it's also, he was like a teenage punk-looking ghost, like, studded leather jacket and things like that. I always remember that story.
It sounds positively heartwarming because I'm certain that the teenage punk ghost couldn't get by it honestly if he's already failed twice on presumably easier targets.
Oh no, he actually aces it in probably the cleverest way possible.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell man. Like, now I'm curious.
Well, basically, he demonstrates that he has the ability to turn things inside out with like a certain magical phrase, right? So he does it in front of him. He turns an orange inside out, and he's like, the guy's like, yeah, okay, that's cool and all, but it's not really scary. And he does it with something else. I don't remember. And then, looking real desperate, he just turns to the actual person, starts to do it, and the ghost instructor who's with them is like, stop, don't! And like the guy just like freaks out because he thinks he's about to get turned inside out, and he's like, that's how it happened. So yeah, no, actually thought really cleverly outside the box. I think that's why I really like that story, because he didn't try and help him at all. It's like the story's like the guy's like, and that's why I've got white hair. The poor narrator.
Also, the narrator of Iori, like reiterating the Battle of Changban over here.
He said, "Was like, look, I don't know about any of this stuff."
It's like, this was literally after my time. Okay, I am older than all of that crap.
It's like, we literally didn't have books back then. we were oral traditioning where I'm from, guys. I don't know how to tell you this. Yeah, Iori and Saber are going to take Zhou Yun straight through this mess.
This is only the first wave, I'm sure. Like they were genuinely just talking about, hey, you know, we're gonna have to do a whole bunch of waves of enemies, and Saber was like, bro, say less. I'm in.
literally what I do.
All of the Oni over there trying to call a foot fault. Iori wasn't actually in range.
At the very least, one of the nice things about this fight is that the enemies, monsters all drop gems. So, at the very least, you're not going to be running out of gems too much fighting these guys.
I did notice that, and I was just sort of like, has that been happening the whole time, and I'm just really unobservant about this? And then like, a few moments later, I was like, no, I wouldn't be that stupid.
Nope, basically all monsters drop gems, and in certain cases, like certain magic user enemies also drop gems.
Right, that like the magic user enemies was the one that I was figuring you got most of them from, because I remember seeing those doing it.
Yeah, you can if you ever like have stuff you don't need anymore, you can have your workshop just start producing gems over time. And of course, Boss sells gems as well. So if you're, and you know, he restocks every so often.
Speaking of increasing your power through legendary resonance.
会は払った。残るはKishimojinのみ。
なあ、道は開けたぞ。超雲殿。
感謝しよう、二人とも。和子様を取り戻すための道筋、今しかと見えた。今しばらくお待ちを、和子様。我が槍、我が宝具をもってお救いします。いざ超支流参る。
Round 2. If we don't count all the other times we fought the Kokokcho, which makes this round 7.
Like,
but anyway.
don't all the birds like count as aspects of her here? I guess not.
I don't know. I think it was just a case of like phantasmal reproduction. fuck.
Okay, that was
I have never seen any of these attacks before, so I'm just kind of like, what is
that was not something I was expecting. Just a friggin' wall of fuck.
そうは命、そうは快楽の雫にして星をなすもの。絶技、発揮、怒涛。
全て我の子なり。
Just want to throw a big piece of popcorn in that mouth.
You missed from the 3-point line, I'd be kind of disappointed in you. It's a big target.
我の子を奪う者、あまねく滅ぼさねばならぬ。子を奪われる悲しみ、ことごとく消し去らねばならぬ。わけわからぬのだ。どうして我から奪おうとする。そうか。
Should you really be watching from the sideline like this?
それほどまで子への愛とはさほどに親を狂わせるものなのか。
Don't ask Rhino. Her dad was a piece of her dad was a piece of fucking garbage.
母なる神よ、私には愛というものがわからぬ。すべて我の子なり、すべて我の子なり、すべて我が。
貴様の子である前に、和子様は我が無二の主、龍玄徳のお子。返してもらうぞ、落ちたる慈母よ。哀れみなどで我が中心は曇ることなし。
Reaching Dragon Ball levels of two people just screaming at each other back and forth.
いささか陰りが見える。
ああ、今少しだぞ、より。テイとアーチャーがいずれ霊脈を断つ。その時こそ仕留めきる。
今は皆を信じてその機を待つのみよ。
Let's keep the good times pushing.
Oh wow, that was a cool looking repost.
火の型。
Aiming at? Oh, there you go. Just saw one of the fireballs just sort of slip behind her.
I do love the flow of the animations too, the wings.
Yeah,
and
no
everything.
joke. I can definitely see how a lot of these sorts of things will probably end up making it into, like, I don't know how much more you've played of Dynasty Warriors Origins yet, but like I'm starting to, like, for like the Lu Bu-esque fights, I'm starting to become convinced you're going to see a lot more of these sorts of attacks.
God, I haven't actually played up to. I haven't really played it much since I've just been looking for a good time to just sort of sit down and go silly, and I haven't done the Lu Bu stuff yet, which is very much probably going to be the next thing I play, and I'm going to get my very first taste of Do Not Pursue Lu Bu for 2025.
Yeah, like everybody needs a reminder why we don't pursue Lu Bu. Like, I know I've needed one every single time I've picked up a new game, because there's a vicious cycle there. You hear, do not pursue Lu Bu. You are taught why you do not pursue Lu Bu. And then you play the game, you like max out your character, and then you pursue Lu Bu and you kick his butt, right? There's a wonderful arc there. And because you end with kicking his butt, you forget that first portion where you were taught why you don't pursue Lu Bu. It happens every single time. Every single time I pick up a new Dynasty Warriors game, I just like, I can probably, I'd win, and then I am brutally murdered on screen.
あの蛇、さすがね。六陣営、手を取り合うなんてね。
それだけの試練ということよ。
守備よく行ったか。
ああ、補給は立った。あとは紫龍殿を信じよ
う。霊脈が果たさぬ。誰も誰にも。
超音だろ
う。うん。邪魔するならば容赦なし。我が命瞬く光のように。これぞ超反派の一気がけ。
なぜ。
地さん、つかまつりました。
ういこ、ういこ、世の子をどうして、いずこに。
よい、ライダー。今この者に害意は感じられぬ。Kishimojin、誰よりも優しく恐ろしき母よ。私にはわからなかった。親にとって子というものはさほどに心を狂わせるものなのか。ただ一つの小さな命と世を天秤にかけ、迷いなく世を焼き捨てる。その悪鬼のごとき所業をもたらす心を私は知りたいと思った。
Kishimojinの動機？
貴殿には子息があると聞いた。であればわかるのではないかと考えた。 どうだろう。わかるか？
親のあり方にもいろいろあるぞ。ジッパ一からげに考えるのはいささか乱暴だ。子を思うがゆえに命を投げ打つ親もいれば、この思いをあっさりと裏切る親もいる。
そうか。愛すまぬ。そうした機微には疎い。何分この身は親というものを知らぬ。
そう神妙な顔をしないでくれ。俺自身も答えを持たんからそう言った。だからその代わりに俺の思うところを述べるが、愛情こと声の情愛というのは人を勇者にも外道にも変える劇薬だ。
勇者にも外道にも変える。
正義、人倫、道義、外道にその手の理屈は通じない。この世の全てを犠牲にしたとしても我が子の幸福だけが善なんだ。
頭ではわかる。だがどう感じればよいのかわからない。だから私は貴殿ともっと話をしたいのだ。私をウイ子と呼んだ貴殿と母と子としてという求めには応えられぬ。故に一人の人と一騎の英霊として。
ウイ子、ああ、誰よりも透き通ったお前。ウイ子、できることならお前に答えてあげたいけれど、世は間もなく帰る。かりそめの体を失い、うつしおに別れを告げる。
とどまることができぬのならば、私が要石となろう。この身は理想を叶えるためのもの。無垢を救い、世を正す。そのためにある命。子を失い、嘆く貴殿さえ救えずに、何を救うことができようか。
お前はかりそめの翼でしかない世に。ウイ子よ、はあ、ウイ子、お前も間違いなく世の子です。世に慈しまれ幸せになりなさい。すべての子は幸せにならねばならない。お前もですよ。ゆい小説、お前の幸せのために世は今しばしうつしおにとどまりましょう。
はあ、私に話してくれ、Kishimojin。苦しいほどのその胸の内を。
There you have it. Like I said, there is still an extended epilogue to come, but that was Bylong and the Crimson Demon, the story of Zhou Yun, these and Kishimojin, and honestly, it's a bit of a story about Shosetsu as well.
I realize this is horrifically out of scope, but it would have been amazing if basically as part of the wrap up of this, it just powers up Yui Shosetsu in some of the later story battles because she's got the extra heroic spirit juice behind her.
it is what it is. But unfortunately, something else is what it is. A lot of those kids are not coming back.
Right.
The ones that were alive have been returned home, but
a lot of them are just dead.
yeah, she's been the Kakokcho has been feeding for some time.
ならこれ以上の長居は無用だ。とっとと行くぞ。ランス。
マスター、少々お待ちいただけますか。この地にはまだ返さねばならぬ魂がいるようです。
これは
迷いし魂に導きの手を、乾いた魂を満ちたらし、飢えた魂を良きもので満たす。深い闇の中、苦しみと黒金に縛られし者に救いあれ。正しき者には喜びの歌を、不義の者には沈黙を。パクスエクセウンティブス。今のは何だい。迷える魂を返すべく主に祈りを。
あんたらの神様だったかね。正直私にはよくわからないけれど、でもそうか。あんたは祈ってくれるんだね。古格長に囚われちまった死んだ子供たちの魂にさ。
私はただ成し得ることを成したに過ぎません。
ああ、そうだ。こいつの祈りだけで魂が救われるものか。それに江戸が江戸である限りまた同じことが起こる。
I appreciate that he was softening up until Dayu showed up, and then all of a sudden he felt the need to be back on the edge again.
He's got a reputation to maintain.
Can't possibly see me when I'm weak. Says the man who is like literally falling apart from all of his various injuries and scars.
Oh, in a lot of ways, when Shimon talks about these kinds of things, he's also really talking to remind himself. Shimon has a lot of very subtle waiver points throughout, like, the story. Particularly in his relationship with Lancer. But he has to push through. He can't give up now because everything he's done could be rendered meaningless. At least to him.
吉原の女たちと子供たちのために行くあてのない魂が少しでも救われるように。
It's kind of interesting, really, that he and Dayu never interact throughout the main story, though both of them have essentially very similar sort of, you might say, issues. They both suffer and suffered under the way that the world is run. They've watched those around them be hurt horrifically. And where Dayu tries and struggles to make the world a better place for those around her that she cares about, to protect more of them even as they fall around her, Chimon doesn't have that. And so, for him, it's just a matter of protecting and punishing, protecting the future generations, but primarily it's about revenge. It's about putting down a judgment that God won't give out.
Like getting away from the usual sneering disdain I have for Chiamon for a second. He reminds me very much of a lot of the characters that they wrote into like Gears of War or something like that. Like, it's not that they're one dimensional. Like, yes, they have one note that they play a lot. There's a lot of very good reasons why they're playing that note, and that does matter. Like it changes you from a caricature into a character. it's still I still find it incredibly tiresome that like particularly in this story, which is so much more complicated than whatever vague story they put into Unreal. Chiyamon does not allow himself to be changed by pretty much any of the extraordinary forces around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a big part of why he doesn't end up, a protagonist, because protagonists should have the capacity to change for a day.
Zhou Yun. That's the most Zhou Yun answer ever. Mm-hmm. Hey man, we owe you one. What can we do for you? Fuck it, nothing.
You didn't throw the baby on the ground. That's great.
Whatever.
Who wants some pomegranate juice? I like Shisetsu is just like kneeling it. I'm like, girl, that is like, your robe is ruined. You've just got so much juice in your robe.
Juice and whatever the hell else is sloshing around down there with all of the crap that people have been cutting up. Like, look, I don't know that Oni bleed per se, but they've got to kick off something when you cut them.
なるほど、確かに。
俺たちに手を貸せば他の陣営と相争うこととなる。故に
Now protagonists lean in and yoink.
義に戻るな。
そうか。
だが、生前も軍友のもとを渡り歩いた私だ。
Also, there were a whole bunch of former allies that I fought while serving Liu Bei. That was like the entire point of the Three Kingdoms era. Iori, I'm sure, knows this, but it's his entire thing to really try very hard to be the most equitable guy.
大の得意だぞ。
そうか。こちらには戦力。
Saber, shut up.
それならば問題はないな。
なるほど。
It's just like, I'm not even gonna like fight on that one. I'm just gonna let that deranged little sword gremlin.
That one's sailing right on by.
あ、貴殿らが求めるのならば共に行こう。ライダー、神明を超支流。改めてどうかよろしく頼む。
I do find it really amusing, interesting. I'm not 100% certain of the word to use. That in Zhou Yun's case, he introduced his true name with his courtesy name, which, just to be clear for people who might not be familiar with the tradition, you have like. In China, particularly around the time of the Three Kingdoms era, you have your given name, your first name, your surname, your family name, and then basically when you got in with a powerful group of people that you clicked with and they were truly accepting you, they would give you a nickname, and that basically became your courtesy name, and that's basically a very honorable name that they use to do respect to your skills. And so it is not at all a name that you were given you were born with, or even that you may have had for the majority of your life. A certain person may have a decent number of courtesy names. But Zhou Yun, claiming that his true name is his courtesy name, has a lot of interesting cultural context.
Meanwhile, it would seem that things aren't quite resolved in this little extra mission we get.
Kishimojin が静まり、幼子らは皆家路へと着いたが、いかなわけか私の身。 見ての通り、未だ元の姿に戻れずにいるのだ。
Still a
では
kid.
こたびイリアへはキシモ人を訪ねてか。
ああ。私の姿を変えたのは他ならぬかの神だ。元に戻す手立ても知っていよう。
そうか。
Good a
な
thought
らば
as
小
any.
説、俺たちも共に行こう。
何故？
貴殿とは万全の形で戦いたい。それだけだ。
I also would have accepted. I'm really curious because this is some hardcore god stuff.
Mm-hmm.
ない。かの者の言、嘘偽りには見えぬ。
Yeah, Yori would absolutely be the kind of person who's like, no, I want to fight you when you're at your best.
This is the only time he can, like, he's got a real excuse to cut loose. Of course, he's going to cut loose as hard as he can.
構わぬとも。こういう時の君は言っても聞かぬからな。
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's actually a lot of reasons I can see you getting annoying about this, but you know, you should know better than when Iori's got his mind made up about a challenge.
Iori is incredible, the power of sounding reasonable, but actually being very unreasonable.
Yeah.
ゆい小説、今までどこに母と離れ離れでは寂しかったでしょう。
キシモジン。おお、尋ねる手間が省けたな。
お前たち、我が子に手を出すというか。ならば許さぬ。
She's a rogue berserker.
She's a berserker. Remember I talked about
Outstanding.
how there's different kinds of berserkers, the ones who are completely incoherent, the ones who talk but are completely unreasonable? Well, then there is a third type, and it's the ones who are basically fixated, and they, you know, you're having a conversation with them, they're hearing 1,000 things that are completely different. And yeah, she's she's got a shit.
Alright, so, just... Friggin', she just turns into the Rock from Indiana Jones.
Yeah, so she's kind of nuts.
That's looks really fun to mess around with, though I presume you're not going to get a whole lot of chances to play with her in the normal game.
Well, not since we've really only got the end of the game to play through. So we'll probably use her as our servant, our extra servant during all that, so we get a chance to schmooze around with her.
It's just artillery fire.
She gets to get
Those
good
poor
use out of the
Onibee.
disc. Her range is incredible.
Yeah, no joke.
I think even like the archers struggle to get that far.
Yeah, I was gonna say Archer's gotta run for his money all of a sudden.
良いのです。儚くもウイコ、お前を守ることこそ母の役目ですが。
キシモジン。
またいつ。
Probably the best example of a servant that's like this in Fate Granddaughter is Kishimojin,
許されない。
who was a who's also a berserker, yes, like and she is based on a Japanese legend about a princess who falls for a traveling monk, I think he was, and she basically falls deeply possessively in love with him. And when he's sort of visiting their household, he just sort of like, you know, like, haha, yes, of course, whatever, brushes her off, like treats her essentially like a child. But when he leaves, she pursues him and turns into a giant serpent, which, as you can imagine, freaks the hell out of him. So he keeps running even harder, and she keeps chasing, until finally he escapes to a temple, and they hide him under their bell. They have this massive bell, so they hide him under that while she's around looking for him. But because her love for him, quotation marks love, her obsession is so great, she finds where he is and basically just roasts him alive in the bell.
Our love for you is like a truck berserk.
Yeah, exactly. And so Kiyohime is kind of will see particular people as that particular man, or refers to him at least by that name title, the person she's obsessed over. It's kind of funny. She's she's one of the servants that is the always trying to break into Master's room servants. There's a growing collective of them that do it for various reasons. Berserker Minamoto no Raikau, who is also sort of an example of being similar to Kishimojin in her motherliness, is another one. One of the Hassans, the Hassan of Serenity. Her entire thing is that like every part of her is like poison. Touching her is poisonous. Like her saliva is poisonous, her blood is poisonous, and as a result, I guess we're fighting more ghost robots. I don't know where she got those from, but it's getting a little chilly here. But she but like when she first meets the Master of Chaldea, she accidentally touches him and is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've killed you," and nothing happens because as part of the sort of the way they just sort of fiat explain why these massive miasmas will never actually kill the Master is because his first servant, basically the contract with her has given him or her a very powerful immunity to like pretty much most toxins and poisons. Has to be like divine level stuff to work, and so naturally she's like, "Oh, I can touch someone now."
Well, at the absolute least, I suppose you can be assured that none of these Yandere stable are ever going to properly work together. You'll only have to deal with a onesie-twosie.
Wrong. Anyway. And then there's Go, little Go, but little Go's entire thing is thinking she just wants to like sleep in the bed. Go is weird and awkward.
Okay,
she's
so she's basically like an overly attached dog or cat. Got it.
Yeah, she just wants to lie in the Master's bed walls when they're not there, because they get very embarrassed when they are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Shrug, you know. But that's part of Go's charm. That part of Go's charm is basically just like how very quickly she will turn into like an extremely embarrassed, nervous wreck. But she can't help herself. No impulse control.
無事か、小説。
ああ、大事ない。
Shosetsu's more just annoyed about this entire thing.
返す？この子は母の元に。
But yes, you will never actually have like Masashi is probably the best example of a berserker that you could actually have a conversation with.
Conversation is still a big word for wow, I'm hungry now.
Yeah, you get
okay,
swept
now
up
I'm no
in her
longer
momentum.
hungry. Let's fight. You know, but still though, yeah, you could at least have something resembling a back and forth regarding a topic that has nothing to do with food or violence.
世の心を知りたいと願った清らかなお前。お前は幸せにならなければなりません。
Another one of my favorite, like, he speaks English, but good luck ever actually sort of understanding or even controlling him is Spartacus.
Okay.
Spartacus is incredible because he basically just describes things as varying degrees of tyranny.
Okay, I was sitting here like there has got to be a linguistic gimmick to this, and he's not just talking about a like super thick accent or something like that.
No, 100% is just like he basically just sort of just like the master, even the master servant contract to him is like a form of tyranny to be subjugated to. So you have to like basically to get him on your side, be someone who can demonstrate that they're subjected to an even worse form of tyranny. So that he will like assist you instead.
Oh man, I like it just popped into my head. Spartacus basically meets the commander from Deus Ex: The Recut. Number 1, that's tyranny. Number 2, that's tyranny.
Pretty much.
一つわがままを聞いてはくれまいか。 ひな鳥が巣から羽ばたくようにことは
Shisetsu is like kind of realized that she can't just like try and appeal to reason. She has to play Kishimojin at her sort of degree of delusion and sort of word it in a way that sort of makes sense with her obsession.
I also appreciate that she's basically speed running the entirety of childhood here.
お前はあまりに
Look, I need my adult body back because I'm actually like I've been doing this child thing for all of about 4 days now. Trust me, it's a lot. I don't want to be a kid that much.
But instead what she's saying is, you were the best mother ever, but for you to actually be the greatest mother ever, you have to like complete the mother pathway and allow me to grow up. Because
Right.
a really good mother allows her grown up learned child that she's doted on so much to find their way in the world.
ゆい
Shisetsu's a strategist, she's not silly.
Yep.
お前がうい
She basically spat it back on Kishimojin, and so, yeah, it's not stupid, it's very clever actually.
Cutting through her like her haze of crazy.
It's definitely one thing, like, that I'd say you really couldn't see Iori managing to do.
No, there's no way Iori would have managed to pull that one off.
God, it's been so long. I almost forgot how Shisetsu looked as an adult.
Her her bangs threw me for a loop there. I was just like, wait, are her bangs longer? Are they messier than they used to be? Like, no, I must be messing with myself.
I do really like her
貴
hair.
殿には心苦しい選択をさせてしまったな。
良いのです。母は見送らねばなりません。ためらわず羽ばたきなさい、ゆい。
ありがとう。では我らはこれにて。
Man, you assholes have the worst sense of timing.
Even Ryan's like, I've had so much. I have dealt with so much lately. I don't think you people understand how much I've been dealing with.
ここは私と騎士魔人に任せてくれまいか。貴殿にはどうか見てほしいのだ。願いにかける。
Most importantly, we haven't actually gotten to see the noble phantasm yet.
騎士魔人。
True, I hadn't remembered that.
良いでしょう。この願い聞き届けるも母の定め。
I do appreciate how clearly the artist for Kishimojin was aware of the particular types of berserkers that you're talking about, because pretty much every time we get a good look at her eyes, both on the 2D cut in and on her on her 3D, she is
世が美しいにあげます。
high key crazy with every single shot.
And yes, the noble phantasm is in fact similar to assassins. You transform into her cococtural form.
Let's just go boss roll on this. Let's rock.
It is always nice when the game lets you be the boss. And thank God she never
Pretty
used that
sure
attack
she
on
never
me.
used that like sand or friggin' what's the word I'm looking for? Antlion attack. In her
Yeah,
her
definitely
boss
looked like an
form,
antlion.
so-
Yeah.
I mean that's what it looked like to me. Just dropping down, going full FF4 on this boy. Welp.
Yeah. That's fun.
All of a lot of the nearby skeletons just stunned out. It's just like, we are so screwed.
Yeah, they were just saying like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we're fucked.
傷は危ない目に遭ってます。
大事ない。貴殿の助力あればこそだ。騎士魔人。
just
Nice try, Oni.
She's just a chainsaw.
It was a very good effort, and that's all it was. An effort.
Like, she's definitely a you've earned this victory lap character.
Yeah.
This is gonna make using her for the finale all the funnier, to be honest. Oh, what's this? Another run at it?
Oh lord, here we go again.
Is it going to kill all these people with that attack?
God.
愛し子が立って幾度でも世は我となら怪異返上
Really good pitch shift by the voice actor too, by the way.
Yeah, no, the voice actress there is all over this. Like, absolute thespian level performance.
Sadly, that was all we get for for this.
Oh well, no third wave.
Still really cool.
She really got to cut loose the first time she brought it up, though.
これにて騒がせてすまなかったな、騎士文字。いかがした、貴殿。
何もウイコが幸せならば世は。
君の息災を何より願うと彼女はそう言っているぞ。そうか。騎士文人、私は必ずやなすべきをなしてみせよう。我が歩み、どうかイリアから見守っていてくれ。
ウイコは良い子ですね。わかりました。母はこの願いを見守りましょう。いつでも、今すぐにでも戻りたくなれば戻ってくるのです。
ああ、ありがとう。
Now, you might be thinking to yourself, is that it? Why is there still another 3 minutes left in this?
No. What I was wondering is why did Rogue Saber's file come up? I was like, wait, that kind of feels like it's coming out of nowhere.
Just the loading screen is just random. I usually cut them out, but like, I was in a bit of a hurry assembling this, so I didn't. Plus, they went through pretty quick.
聞いているのか、騎士文字。
Swear to God.
ウイコはいずこ。ヨガ。
Never expect a berserker to remember anything you've had in discussion like 5 minutes earlier.
我が子よ。
Just like start getting flashcards every time you summon a berserker. Just make sure that they're really big flashcards. I'm not talking about like those index cards. No. I'm talking about like a sequence of poster boards. You like hold over your head.
お前。世の子は巣立っていった。
Okay, so she remembers something at least.
世も離れねばならない。だが。世は遠くからでも見届けたい。
話が見えぬな。何が言いたい、騎士文人。
お前、世の要石となりなさい。
は？
お前は、お前たちは決してウイコではないが、どうしても世に甘えたいのならば。世が甘やかしてあげましょう。
Dangerous statement.
お前は世がうつし世にとどまるための要石となるのです。さあ、人の子よ、世の愛を受け取ることを。
Extremely dangerous statement. Steepling fingers in concern. edging away.
この心霊何も変わっていないぞ。
さあうなずきなさい。母はお前たちを守り慈しみましょう。
なるほど。つまり貴殿と共に戦えると。
Saber fucking just a head swiveling right back there.
Saber's just like, this is the worst idea you have had in a while. And for once, I'm completely on board with that opinion.
Like I said, Iori is actually an incredibly unreasonable person, but he always frames things incredibly reasonably.
Yeah, like, normally I'm happy to call Saber the weird and abnormal one here. But this time she's totally right. Like, this isn't one you walk away from. This is one you run away from. Shut
I love
up,
the way he
dude.
just sort of tilts his head, like, what?
君ああもう
maybe.
Finally catching on. Gotcha.
借りられる手は借りるまで
It's the way he just put his head on his hips and just turned his head to Saber, like, oh, what's wrong?
決まりだな。ではこれよりよろしく頼む。母なる神。
He said, haha no kami. Like, my mother's god. That was how he addressed her there, not by her name.
No, that's technically, sort of what she is, like a patron
No,
saint.
no,
for
it's
others.
incredibly appropriate, but like there was a definite degree of familiarity in there that the translation kind of erased.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of Bylong and the Crimson Demon, but that means that there's really only one thing left to do, and so it's going to be a few very short episodes, I believe, as we head into the final ending for Fate Samurai Remnant. And we know how it's going to lead into it. We're going to take the vessel. We're not going to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been the Last Robo-Kai,
And I've been Cool Guy.
and we'll see y'all next time for the end, or the beginning of the end, for Fate Samurai Remnant. We'll see y'all next time.